Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Nightkid Zero, and our last fight, I beat the hell out of Sonny Liston in the first round. So, today, we're going to go find someone else. And Tyson is the best pound-for-pound fighter in my weight class. And I need to fulfill that to move myself up a rank. Trying to become the greatest of all time. But while we're doing this training here, not that anyone's asked for it, so to be clear on that, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about why I chose Fight Night as one of the series to basically start my channel with. It's very simple, really. Damn it, Bell. For as long as I can remember, now I'm 32 right now, and I got my NES when I was 4 in 1990. One of the first games I got with it was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
I punched one time. Okay.
And
nice work, slipping the bag.
prior to that,
okay.
Ow.
That was nice leans, kid. Listen to my count, kid. Come on now, hustle.
Everyone else was, you know, Contra, blah blah. I mean, they're all great games. I'm not taking anything away from those games. I just always really had a love for Punch-Out. And as I got a little bit older, my dad showed me the first Rocky movie, which has subsequently become my favorite movie of all time. I don't know, it's probably the underdog thing, but you know, I identify very heavily with that. And if you follow football at all, knowing that I am in the Philadelphia area, underdogs are kind of our thing. But, so I had this appreciation for boxing, even though it was never on in my house or my grandparents or really anyone that I knew. So what I did see was very little here and there.
All right, let's see in the ring with some real competition.
Bell. But after Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, I started playing a bunch of different boxing games. Basically anything I could find and trying them out. The obvious, and I've covered this on the channel before, was Super Punch-Out, which I liked a lot. But actually, at the time, I'm going to preface that by saying at the time, I actually was a big fan of Cesar Chavez boxing on the Super Nintendo, 1 and 2. Really, really liked those games. At the time, I liked them more than Punch-Out, because I felt like they were more true to the sport, or, you know, we were all dumb kids, and that's as good as technology's ever going to get. And so then, flash forward a little bit, trying, you know, various boxing games growing up, Buster Douglas, Real Deal boxing. So, it wasn't until the PS1 where I started playing different boxing games. Contender 2. I've covered Contender 2 on the channel. I enjoyed them. You know, they were fun arcade boxing games for their time. They're complete shite now. If you don't believe me, go back and watch my retro revisit on Contender 2. But a buddy of mine, Joe, actually, I'll never forget it, brought a copy of Knockout Kings over when we were, I don't know, 12, 13 maybe. and I just absolutely fell in love with that game. Everything about it. It was unlike anything I had played before, and was kind of kept it in mind. Played a couple of the different Knockout Kings that came out on PS1, and then
Hi, everybody. So glad you're with us.
the PS2 came out.
From the moment they signed the
Or sorry, no, the
contract to the
Dreamcast
weigh-in
came out
yesterday, it's been nothing but tough
with
talk.
Ready to Rumble
Now
and
we
all
are
that.
underway, round number 1.
And
the talk is in the rearview mirror. The
you
electricity
know,
is pumping,
again, another
and
game.
it's time
Truly,
to
just
fight.
really liked it. I've played every other
The kid's
weird
impressing the
or
judges
different
and
boxing game you
himself
can
with
think
that
of.
right hand. Good shot there with that left.
I played Victorious Boxers 1 and 2, which is based off of my second favorite anime of all time, Hajime no Ippo, or Fighting Spirit is the U.S. name. I played them. I've played Digital Champ on the PC Engine. I've played Rocky on the Master System. If it's boxing, I've probably tried it at least once. And right around that time, you know, as my knowledge of my exposure to boxing through the Knockout King games, seeing these real boxers, I started looking into their careers and just got really hooked, no pun intended, by the sport and the great boxers, Jack Dempsey, Joe Frazier, Ali, Tyson. I've said it many times for this series, was my favorite of all time. And if you don't agree with that, I mean, we can fight on the street, but I mean, I like Tyson. We can go stat for stat, different eras. Everyone compares Tyson and Ali, so. But when the 360 came out, I kind of drifted away from boxing games and played Fight Night Round 3. And that just blew my mind, seeing what that generation could do. Got back into it, played Fight Night 4, and then, Tyson. Sorry to interrupt story time. Got him. Played 4, and then fought Champion for the 360. And having a story mode made the game so awesome that it's a game that I've always enjoyed. I would find myself randomly going back to play it, which for me is uncommon, to steadily go back and play, an older game, do a career, probably once every 2 years or so. And since they haven't released a newer one, I wanted to start my channel off of something that was a game that I really liked, and a genre of games that has been around developing my taste in games since I was a kid. I have one more boxing game that I know for sure. Oh, sit down. That I want to do on the channel, which is an import PS3 game. I will get to that at one point. But playing these boxing games, now when I'm on my way to work, Tyson's dead, so I'm on my way to work. I listen to classic boxing matches. I go to sleep watching YouTube videos of boxing matches. It's something I've grown a great respect for. So I wanted to do this series because I don't know. Like I said, I never kept up in the community, but it's a game that I feel is really, really good, really fun. I enjoy a lot.
The kid's your winner, and
so that's basically. It took me the whole video to explain where my love of boxing games came from. But hopefully, it was a little bit of a break from the usual way I do my videos, kind of give you guys some more insight as to the person that is associated with the disembodied voice that you so often hear. So if you guys have any memories of a weird type of game or a weird game specifically that you never thought you would like, please leave it in the comments. I love reading that stuff. Like I said, I never thought Chavez Boxing was going to be a game at 32 years old that I just had to go own, but it is. But let me know. Like I said, that's the end of this fight. Tyson got killed in the first round. We're pretty much on cruise street, I think, at this point. I don't know that anyone's really going to be able to derail this this freight train that I got going. But either way, I enjoy spending the time with you guys. I hope you enjoy spending the time with me. I'm Nightkid Zero, and I'll see you in the next fight.